Welcome back to News 13 this morning. It is now 6:08 and we have some lovely ladies joining us. We have Paige Sellers, Anna Catherine Rizalvato, and Robin Addison, and they are the North Florida Miss Heart of America Queens. And ladies, tell me a little bit about this pageant system that you're involved with.
Our pageant it's a pageant with a purpose. Our goal is to stomp out hunger across the country, one county at a time. So we go into counties. All of our pageants are food drive pageants. We do food drive events and raise canned goods that stay in that community and benefit different food banks and shelters.
And I think a lot of times people don't realize just how much Queens do in the community to help out.
We really do. The biggest part of our pageant is the community service aspect, and we even have the community queen title, which Robin holds right now.
And that's for doing service in the community, right, Robin?
Yes, it's not just riding parades and doing ribbon cuttings and picture ops. It's scheduling food drives, it's gathering stuff, it's working at humane societies, any place we can get involved and help out. So.
And you have an event coming up tomorrow.
Tomorrow we're going to be at the Winn-Dixie in Defuniak Springs, and we're going to be bagging groceries from 10 to 5. All the money raised will be used to buy canned goods to benefit Shelter House for victims of domestic violence.
Okay, so stop by, visit you tomorrow in Defuniak Springs, and then if you want to get involved with the pageant system, you have a couple of pageants coming up as well.
We do. We have, our first one is the North Walton County Prelim, and it is at the Wise Center Auditorium at the old Defuniak High School. And it is going to be at 1:00 p.m. on July 31st. We have another prelim that is the North Okaloosa County, and it is going to be in Crestview at the Warrior Auditorium at Crestview High School, and it will also be at 1 p.m. and it's on August 7th.
And there's a website if people want to check it out, right?
Yes, MissHeartOfAmerica.com.
MissHeartOfAmerica.com. And really there's all age categories.
Yes, it's birth to 200. So anybody will take you. We'd love to have you get involved. It's a great mother-daughter activity. My daughter is our junior Miss Queen. So we do it together, and it allows us to teach each other a little bit at the same time.
And Anna Catherine, you love it, don't you? You do. So starting early, helping out in the community. Ladies, thanks so much for being here, and thanks for the work that you do for us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to head over to Wayne. He's going to give us the weather forecast.
Well, good morning, everybody. Here's a view from our tower cam. Is this not beautiful? Sunrise at rose actually at 5:51. We're at 6:10 right now, so about 20 minutes into the day, and you can see the sun gracing the sky as it rises in the east. Absolutely beautiful outside this morning. Well, what are those temperatures doing to us today? Well, we're at 75 degrees right now, and the dew point's at also 75. I don't think the crown works for me nearly as well as it does for the ladies, does it? Jess, what do you think? It's not making it? No. Yeah, I'd like to have a real one. I want a real crown. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. All right, here's what's happening right now. An east-northeasterly wind at about 7 miles an hour, and the pressure is at 30.05. Come on, come right on here. I'm going to get a hand-delivered crown. Could you crown me? Okay, just for a moment? It's not going to look nearly as good on me as it does on you, for goodness sakes. All right, queen for a day, or at least for a couple of moments. How about king for a day? Thank you so much. It does look much better on you. Thank you. We got an east-northeasterly wind right now as we go through the day. Today we're going to see mostly a southeast wind, and we do need to look at the tropics this morning. We got a little area that's worthy of a little attention, because if you saw it, you'd be thinking, wow, what is that? It's right near Hispaniola, off the coast of southeast Florida. Now, less than a 10% chance of this actually developing. You can see a little bit of rotation there and a cluster of rain showers and thunderstorms. It's not in an environment where it's actually going to develop. So that weather will move into the Gulf of Mexico, but shouldn't be much of a problem for us. As a matter of fact, again, less than a 10% chance of it developing into a tropical depression. Precipitation totals for Wednesday were spotty at best, but some locations did get some rainfall. And yesterday, boy, it really filled in over in Jackson County. Mariana got quite a bit of rainfall. Also, Blountstown, 2 to 3 inches in many of those locations, as indicated by our weather watchers this morning. And right along the immediate coastline, well, it's only about 1/10 of an inch or so. Not too much happening out there in that regard. Along the beaches, and once again, it looks very similar today. 2.9 at Caryville and Rising. That's just 1/10 of a foot up from yesterday. Ebro is at 6.3 and steady. Also steady on the Chipola River Basin, both Mariana and Alpha unchanged. Going to the creek this weekend? Well, what you see is what you get. Don't look for much more than what you're seeing right now. Blountstown is 3.7 and rising thanks to the 2 to 3 inches of rain that fell in that general vicinity yesterday. Right now, across the region, we've got 83 degrees in Destin, where they're surrounded by water on almost all sides. 75 for most of us. We're in the mid-70s. 86 in New Orleans. Talk about surrounded by water, huh? And of course, Down in South Florida, we're in the 80s as well. And we had a reading in Memphis just a short time ago, about 81. They've actually cooled down a couple of degrees. Temperatures across the United States, 60s have taken over across the upper Midwest and into the Mississippi River Valley, and also up into New England this morning. 70s are still prevalent, and some 80s, of course, in the southeast, where we're still living in a tropical air mass. Once again, lots of moisture down here. Just look what happens in the afternoon. That's the way it happens. It just gins up. The heat, of course, is the catalyst for all that activity. A line of rain showers and thunderstorms trying to move into the southeast, but you know, there was some temperature changes there, but they pretty much modified out right now, so I think that line's going to get less well defined as we go through the day. There is a slight chance of some hefty thunderstorms across Georgia and Alabama today, and Florida, of course. Even in Atlanta, you've got a slight chance of seeing some afternoon thunderstorms, so keep that in mind if you're traveling. I don't think it's going to be much of a problem for you. Satellite and radar composite starts yesterday evening at 6 p.m. So what I want you to do is project yourself till 6 p.m. this evening. You're going to see very similar circumstances, a canopy of high clouds, some scattered rain showers around the region, and then as we go in the nighttime hours, will be partly cloudy and pretty warm, pretty much the way it has been. Panama City, your high temperature today, 89 after hitting 91 yesterday. Dothan was at 96 yesterday. You're only going to top out at 92. Mariana was also at 96, and you're looking at the low to mid 90s today. Now, the heat indexes yesterday were about 103. We're still going to see some very warm temperatures overnight tonight, but not as warm as it has been, thanks to the fact that our winds got a little bit more of an easterly component. So look for partly cloudy skies overnight tonight. An isolated shower, of course, the best time for that would be some of the ones that are still hanging around from the afternoon heating, and that will be well, that'll be the case. It's the case almost every day in the summertime. You can see some of the temperatures inland. Chipley dropped down to 72 degrees tonight. Barbara Russell up in Chipley, librarian in Washington County, one of my favorite people. I talked to her yesterday. She says it's too hot. She wants it to top out about 60 every day. That's what she's looking for. I told her she had to wait. 60% chance of rain both today and tomorrow with high temperatures in the 80s. And the weekend looks pretty good. You know, afternoon thunderstorms could, of course, have an effect on your picnic or birthday party, or just about anything. But
right.
I say grin and bear it.
That's
you know
what
I
I
do.
say.
I mean, come on.
What else are you going to do?
I don't know.
Hey, thanks for the drink.
Yeah, you're certainly welcome. I take care of you, don't I?
You do take care of me. Not a coffee drinker, so he always gets me a soda.
Always.
We'll be right back, everyone.